What's good, gente? Thank you guys once again, like always, for tuning in. As you guys can see on the thumbnail and on the title, right? We're gonna be speaking on Johnny. Pretty much, he ended up making a video where he speaks on the runner and Dubs, right? And he pretty much talks about how he feels, and it honestly seemed like he was actually hurt, bro. I do recommend you guys to tap into the video. It just came out today, so this is a new video. Like old boy likes to say, new video. So I do recommend you guys to go check it out. I think it's soft underbelly or something like that. I think that's what the channel's called. I will put it on the descriptions, so make sure to stay tuned in and check the whole thing out, man. I do recommend you guys to tap in and let me know what you guys think about Johnny and how everything went down, bro. Real talk. But before we get started on this video, I would appreciate if you hit that like, subscribe, hit that follow, hit that notification bell, just in case we go live. So with that being said, man, let's get started, man. So we all know about Johnny. He ended up coming on the YouTube. He made certain videos where he talks about Skip Row and how the struggle happens to be real. Well, it happens to be real. But we already know that Dubs likes to do reactions, and sometimes he's not considerate of who he's reacting to, right? So he ended up reacting to Johnny, and he got his clown on, like plenty of other YouTubers, right? That he's done that to. That's just the way he gets down. But some of you guys like it, and that's why he continues to go that route. But he ended up making certain videos about Johnny, and I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Some of them were funny. I actually did tap in with the whole Johnny videos, especially because there was a lot of drama going on at that time, right? With Mike's World, with a couple other channels. So I did tap in and see what's actually going on. And I did notice, man, that old boy was being found. He was actually being found, the thing. And someone did get at him. I do happen to know a little bit of the inside of who was the one that talked to the homie. But that's none of my business to really put out there. You know what I'm saying? If they want to come out there and talk about it, then that'll be on them. But in all reality, man, someone did communicate Dubs with Johnny, you know what I'm saying? And let him know that there was a few homies that actually knew old boy, and they respect him in some type of way, right? They don't like the fact that he's in Skip Row. But I mean, everybody has their own struggles and tribulations, right? That they got to deal with. But Dubs, of course, I guess he did try to kind of want to fix it. At least to what Johnny was saying, bro. He made it seem that people got on their bumpers, and that's why they ended up doing the whole GoFundMe. But he pretty much let it be known, bro, that they were full of shit. You know what I'm saying? They were full of shit. And he's hurt. I do recommend you guys to trip out on the video so that you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It seemed like he was real hurt with Dubs, Gunner, and a couple other platforms, right? But he said that, on at least what I heard on that video, was that he pretty much just jumped on, on these dudes' platforms to pretty much clear up some things, because he kind of did want to clap back when they made videos and made fun of him. But in all reality, man, he said it wasn't really worth his time of day. But they did bless him with, I believe, $600. It could have been a little bit more, but in all reality, I believe that's what it was. They ended up blessing old boy with $600. And Johnny, man, as you guys seen, he hasn't been on those platforms ever since, and they honestly haven't even talked about old boy. So in all reality, man, old boy just ended up seeing that they were doing it all for views, and you guys already know. I don't really have to explain that part multiple times. You guys already know how these dudes end up getting down. But Johnny did say that he didn't really appreciate, that they were making fun of him, especially because you guys already know, man, when you're already down at your lowest, it's not good to get stomped out, and that's kind of how he felt. But he did give him a chance to somewhat better the thing, right? Like he said, he does believe that people do mess up here and there. So he gave him that benefit of the doubt. But in all reality, gente, let's play close attention, because I know Johnny was able to see this, right? At first, they got their clown on. They made him like pretty much feel like shit, right? And then they went and they try to justify it, right? Just by doing a GoFundMe and doing a little bit of this, right? Just to make it seem like they were all fucking más firme que wow. You know what I'm saying? But in all reality, man, even when Mike's World jumped on, right? Mike was right, you know? All those fools were clowning, talking shit. And don't get me wrong, most of the reactions that does, that's why he does it, man. He wants to get his little clown on. But in all reality, man, he's the only one that's a clown, you know? Anyone that fucking has debriefed or ratted, you know, in the past, they can't really be clowning on people. Those are facts, bro. If you have stuff on your chaqueta, shit, just stay out the way. Why even bring attention to yourself, right? Or bring heat, you know, because we already been knowing. At least these two individuals, they can't take the heat, man. They like to give it, but they can't take the heat. Especially, man, once they see that the facts are there, they can't fuck with it. But in all reality, man, shout outs to Johnny. You know, Johnny is gonna be going on YouTube. Apparently, he's gonna be a one channel man now. You know, so you more than likely only see him on the underbelly, giving his little life experience. But it was funny, man, that they actually talked about this on that video. You know, I was actually expecting him to talk about his life stories, especially since he hasn't been on YouTube for a minute, right? I don't think he's been on YouTube ever since this whole incident that did happen with these dudes. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they haven't talked about him ever since. They haven't put another GoFundMe. They haven't done none of that. So what does that tell you, gente? They do it at the moment. They do it to pump themselves up. I don't know, man, to stroke their ego, make themselves look like they're doing good things out here in the community. But in all reality, man, let's be real about them. Those channels, with the money that they did bless old boy, which I mean, $600 is better than nothing, right? But let's be real. Those channels right there, they make that shit in a couple weeks. Why didn't they just bless them with, you know what? We got two channels apiece. Why don't we bless them with one of the actual funds that one of my channels will give? You know what I mean? Just to give to old boy. So let's say the runner would have gave him like the small platform, whatever he made that month. And Dubs also did the same. I guarantee you it would have been more than $600. But they did bless old boy with something. So I mean, can't take that from them. Even though it wasn't their money. You know, old boy did say they put a GoFundMe, and let's be real, man. If you want to bless someone or help someone, you do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go on a platform and pretty much beg for others to do the blessing for you and then you take the credit. That's just how I seen it, right? But I could be totally wrong. There's some people on the YouTube yarda that are a little bit more sensitive, and they'll probably be like, nah, conejo, they did right, fuck you, and all that good stuff, right? But in all reality, man, I do recommend you guys to go trip out on the video. You let me know in the comments, bro, if you honestly think that Johnny's hurt, you know. He did kind of downplay or down talk the Dubs a little bit, especially when he was over there saying that they pretty much got checked and that's why they did what they did. But on Gunner, on the whole Gunner thing, I don't know if he ended up pumping up his ego a little bit. So he might be feeling himself right now, especially since him and Dubs had a little fallout. Even though they don't like to talk about it, it's only facts and it's been put out there, man. People can see between the lines. They haven't been on each other's channels ever since the whole drama. And I honestly don't think that they'll ever be doing any type of videos together. I think Dubs learned his lesson on that one, especially since he was put out pretty much as basura too. You know, no disrespect to the ones that like old boy Dubs, no disrespects, you know. But he did get put out as garbage, just technically messing with the runner, you know what I mean? And I think that he learned his lesson in life not to jump on the bandwagon, especially put a cape on, you know. Don't do that. Especially if you got something to hide. So with that being said, gente, I will put the link on the description, so on Underbelly or something like that. I mean, it's a real big platform. I'm pretty sure most of you guys will probably even see the video before you see this one. But you just make sure to tap in on both and make sure to let me know in the comments. Do you really think Johnny's going through it, man? Do you think he's hurt? Or do you honestly think that he's on a sick one? Let's just be real, carnal, you know? They did get their clown on. I won't get my clown on Johnny, and I won't get my clown on anyone that I see struggling. I can't do it, bro. That's not in me, right? So don't expect me to do reactions like oh boy and get my clown on certain people that I see struggling. I'll get my clown on other fools, especially the ones that I see that they're not struggling like old boy Johnny. They're not homeless and stuff like that. Your boy Conejo doesn't get down like that. But with that being said, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, put a thumbs up for your boy. Make sure to subscribe, hit that follow, hit that notification bell. We will be going live today. So I do apologize for the gente that has been waiting for me to go live, We're back to regular program, and hopefully, man, I get better luck with these trees, straight up. So with all that being said, gente, thank you guys once again for your time and for your support. I will catch you guys on the next one or on the live, man. So make sure to stay tuned in. And you guys already be knowing, man, don't forget to drop comments and let me know what you guys think. Pay close attention to what he's saying on that video. I know some of you guys watch certain Johnny videos to get your laugh. And I know I seen some of the comments. I think they called him drunk, my drunk uncle Johnny. There's a couple of things that they throw on the thing. So I know some people just like to hear some of Johnny's stories to kind of get a kick out of it, right? But in all reality, man, it is someone that is struggling in life. So why kick him while he's down, homie? So with all that being said, like I said, man, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Make sure to drop a comment and let me know what you guys think. We out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woohoo! What fuck squirt gun?
What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Once again, new video.
Omito. 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 Omito.